Bush. A lot going on. Middle East is kicking up. There is some good news in the eastern portion of Europe. So I guess that's good. But Middle East is kind of reigniting on fire. So that's bad. Also, Turkey is having some major problems today. We're going to get into that one. That's kind of a big story. Turkey is arresting people that are of a different political mind than Erdogan. Yep. So, excuse me. It seems they are arresting people for potentially winning an election. Gosh, good thing that doesn't happen, in other places like, Romania. It's almost like they tried to do it here. They didn't get away with it, though, did they? That's the good news. Thankfully, there's enough of us. There's a bit of a buffer. The pendulum is swinging. Not that this platform or any other people that are not of mind of the leftist cloth understand that, but of course, you just got to do what you got to do. So we keep coming back. We keep telling you all the things going on, and they just get crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. But there is that true believer aspect to them. My old history teacher used to say it. Call them yellow dog Democrats. It's like, what? They could put a yellow dog up, but they'll vote for him. It's kind of what they're like. Except they're communists now. So, yeah, YouTube didn't like my earlier video because I put that pretty much square. Tried to screw with it as usual, but I don't care. We just keep coming back for more. Keep posting out the stuff, not doing anything wrong, nothing illegal. So, worst thing they can do is just suppress the crap out of it and not show it to anybody. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. All right, you guys ready for a little crisis report? March 19th, 2025. Here we go. United States District Judge Theodore Day Chuang, who has appointed by Obama, just ordered Elon Musk and Doge to restore nearly all USAID's operations. Problem with that is that it was started by an executive order and it will end by an executive order. So, Mr. Chuang, if you guys can go on back and get another one of them highfalutin law degrees, might help you understand that in Article 2 of the Constitution, the president can do that. Yeah, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. But, of course, that doesn't stop him. Nope. Lesbian federal judge. I don't know what her sexuality has to do with anything, but Anna Keyes has blocked Trump ban on transmissions in the military. So, who saw that coming? I'm surprised it took this long. Utah legislature passes a bill paving the way for state vendors to be paid in gold and silver. Now, there's a state I like. However, he said HB 306, continuation of his efforts, those of other lawmakers who paved the way in 2011 with a law that made gold and silver coins legal tender. This just takes another step to begin making gold fractional and transactional, where you can buy a soda pop or buy a business with gold. It's another sponsor, Representative Ken Ivory, and so this legislation begins to make electronic, fractional, transactional gold and silver as a payment system that's recognized under the Constitution. Oh, who we got there? Can't see. Hold on. Arc Living. You. Thanks, buddy. Yep, United States Senate unanimously passed Resolution 600. They warn that China and Europe are developing alternative payment systems to weaken the dollar. This gives people in Utah and state payment options because, with a $37 trillion debt and overspending $2 trillion a year, it's a good thing to have options. But I thought that was bad or good. I thought that copious amounts of debt was good because we actually have a group out there that's actively trying to peel some of that back, and people are burning down dealerships because they're so pissed off about it. I guess it's not that good of a deal. New visuals released of a Tomahawk land attack missile, LT-LAM, being launched from the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, USS Stout, as strikes between the United States Navy continue today with the Houthis, of course. Heavy U.S. air activity once again recorded over the Red Sea. IDF attacked a Hamas military site in the northern Gaza Strip last night, where preparations were detected for firing into Israeli territory. In addition, naval forces attacked vessels in the coastal area of the Gaza Strip that were intended to carry out terror acts. Report in Turkey, Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, Erdogan's biggest political opponent, imagine that, was arrested this morning as part of an investigation into his case. Social media is now restricted. Public demonstrations were prohibited. Stock market is falling. How long has Erdogan been in power? Like 30 years, something like that? He's not a dictator, though. Not at all. He's not a dictator. IDF Arabic spokesperson Colonel Avishai Adrei issued an urgent warning to Gazans in the red-marked area, especially neighborhoods of Bet Hanun, Kirbich Kajah, and the new and larger Abbasan. The IDF has launched a strong attack against the terror organizations. Your continued stay in the red-marked area endangers your lives and those of your families. Turkey, large protests across the... I thought they were banned. I thought you couldn't protest. Oh, you mean you have power as long as you do things and you have people behind it to push that power? Yeah, seems so. Yeah, arrested the Istanbul mayor. Not good. Houthi missile unit has been ordered to resume attacks on Israel. IDF began a ground maneuver in Gaza for the first time since the beginning of the ceasefire in Gaza. The reports of the tanks advancing towards the Salah al-Din axis area in the center of the Strip, Netzarim corridor area, has begun. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz to Gazans says the first Sinwar destroyed Gaza. The second Sinwar will completely devastate it. Soon, the evacuation of civilians from combat zones will resume, and what follows will be more severe. You will bear the full price. Return the hostages and remove Hamas. Alternative is total destruction and devastation. Over the past day, IDF troops began targeting ground activities in the central and southern Gaza Strip in order to expand the security zone and to create a partial buffer between northern and southern Gaza. As part of the ground activities, troops expanded their control further to the center of the Netzarim corridor. Lonnie, thanks, buddy. Simultaneously, it was decided that the Golani Brigade would be stationed in the Southern Command area and will remain ready for operations in Gaza Strip. IDF will continue to operate against terror organizations in the Gaza Strip in order to protect the citizens of the state of Israel. And so it begins. IDF has dropped leaflets in eastern Shajajia, northern Gaza, urging residents to evacuate. You are in a dangerous combat zone. Leave immediately and stay as far away as possible. Trump Houthis will be completely eliminated. Arab media outlets are reporting American attacks at this time as on Sana'a and Sa'dah in Yemen. Somaliland foreign minister says we're open to accepting Gazans, but the official recognition must come first. It's actually a pretty smart move. That'd be all right. Put them on the Horn of Africa, baby. Poland to deploy anti-personnel mines in the border with Russia and Belarus. Polish MOD says, we have no choice. The situation at the border is serious. Giner's naval expansion is outpacing the U.S. 400 ships to America's 295, while the U.S. are more advanced. Well, Giner's more massive shipbuilding capacity gives a strategic edge because they can keep producing in a prolonged war. German Defense Minister Pistorius, Russia's pledge to halt attacks on Ukraine's energy grid counts for nothing. Trump would have to win greater concessions from Vladimir Putin. Attacks on civilian infrastructure continued despite the so-called pivotal phone call. Putin is playing a game, and I doubt that an American president will watch for much longer. Okay, well, we'll see. We shall see. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas. Russia can't be trusted. It's clear that the Russians do not really want to make any kind of concessions. What Russia wants is for Ukraine to let its guard down. Okay. Sure. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas on Gaza said, I talked to the Israeli Foreign Minister Saad. What is happening? Why are you doing this? This is unacceptable. Yeah. Congo has offered U.S. access to critical minerals in return for military support. It's a good deal. Serbia's Prime Minister, Mr. Vucevic, has resigned. Let you have a moment of silence over that one. It triggered a 30-day deadline for the formation of a new government or the calling of a snap election. Snap. White House, Trump intends to end the conflict in the Ukraine once and for all. White House also says the partial ceasefire on energy targets agreed during the Trump-Zelensky call. Zelensky requested new air defense systems, including the Patriot. Trump said he would check what is available. The United States will continue to provide defensive intelligence to Ukraine. Trump told Zelensky that American ownership of power plants in Ukraine would be the best protection for that infrastructure. He's basically saying, hey, let us put our guys in there, they'll set things up. We'll maintain it. So, I could go a few different ways. Trump told Zelensky that the U.S. is ready to help manage electric and nuclear power plants in Ukraine. Philippines seeks to expand the Squad alliance to include India and South Korea to counter China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. Signed as a strategic group including Australia, Japan, and the Philippines, and the U.S. Fed Chair Powell said people are unhappy, and they are not wrong. Prices went up a lot. Qatar Gate scandal in Israel. Reports claim that aides to Prime Minister Netanyahu received Qatari funds. Probe led by Attorney General Baharav Miara and the Shin Bet focuses on ties between Netanyahu's office and Qatar. Key figures include Eli Feldstein, who allegedly got money via a Qatar-linked lobbyist. Netanyahu denies involvement, calling it a fake scandal. The case has fueled political tensions, including Netanyahu's move to fire Shin Bet chief Ronan Bar. Mr. Zelensky said that additional F-16s have arrived in Ukraine. Russians falsely claim that they shot down an F-16 over Sumy. This is not true. However, several new F-16s have landed and arrived in Ukraine. French traveler, researcher traveling to the U.S. for a conference was denied entry after a border agent searched his phone and found comments. Good Lord. All right, we're going to move on from that one. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm going to try to avoid the political over here. Breaking: Russia successful UAV strikes on strategic oil pumping station Kavkazkia in the Kuban region overnight. Operations have been halted after the pipeline between storage tanks were damaged as a result of the UAV strike. United Kingdom special forces on alert for peacekeeping mission to Ukraine. Ceasefire agreement nears. U.S. and Russia are working on a moratorium on strikes against warships and civilian vessels in the Black Sea, the White House reports. Health Ministry of Hamas-run Gaza said a foreign UN worker was killed and 5 others seriously injured on Wednesday by an Israeli strike on the UN headquarters in the Strip. Limited ground operation in the central Gaza Strip. IDF stated that as part of the operation, its forces have regained control and extended their presence to the center of the Netzarim axis. Additionally, it was decided that Golani Brigade forces will be deployed in the southern sector and remain ready to operate within the Gaza Strip. New satellite images snapped from today showing the U.S. Navy 54th Fleet, just off the coast of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and the Red Sea, taking active part in the military operation amongst Houthis in taking active parts in the military operation against the Houthis in Yemen. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed the Ukrainian forces are conducting military operations in Russia's Belgorod region as part of a border strategy to disrupt Russian troop movements and prevent new assault on Ukraine's borders. Second batch of JFK documents containing 31,400 pages has just been uploaded by the National Archive. CIA, this is an interesting one. Headquarters is on full lockdown as police respond to a barricade situation. Okay. SWAT teams have been surrounded by entrants, deploying drones and robot while negotiating engage with an armed individual. Climate change activists attack Tesla shore in Montreal, Canada. Israel has conducted raids on the offices of I'm not going to say it. We'll just put that in between there. Yep. Mr. Soros' Open Society Foundation. President Trump is set to sign an executive order tomorrow to dismantle the Department of Education. What do you think about that, folks? You happy? If you're happy, put a 1 in. If you're happy, put a 2 in. FBI agent who claimed the Bureau was politically biased during Trump's first term has been arrested for allegedly leaking confidential information. Breaking, the Department of Justice is asking for a federal court to unseal FBI surveillance records on Martin Luther King. And as part of Poland's Eastern Shield program, Warsaw has now officially announced the intention in place in anti-personnel mines along the border with Belarus, effectively crossing out its previous international obligations. Polish Ministry of Defense has already confirmed plans to withdraw from the Ottawa Convention, which bans the use of this type of weapon, citing the allegedly complicated situation in the region. Polish government plans to complete a network of fortifications during the country's eastern borders by 2028. Despite Kiev's provocation, Putin did not cancel the order to cease fire to Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Earlier today, Ukraine launched an UAV strike on an oil pumping station in the Koban region in southern Russia. Kosovo, Albania, and Croatia signed a trilateral defense agreement in Tirana, Albania, essentially forming a new military alliance. Albanian Defense Minister Piro Vengu said other countries were also interested in joining the alliance. Yemen's Ansar Allah Houthis have shot down an American MQ-9 Reaper drone above the Damar Governorate. Masks the 16th time a U.S. drone has been downed by Yemen's armed forces since the beginning of hostilities. Israel is pounding Hamas in Khan Yunis, Gaza right now. America is pounding the Houthis in Hodeidah. Russia has launched one of its biggest drone swarm attacks of this year. Several Ukrainian cities have been hit. Nearly 100 people tried to Istanbul Kemalist mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu have been detained this morning, including other mayors and a prominent Turkish journalist, Ismail Şaymaz. Turkish police closed down major roads and all the square and everything, provided he will turn himself in. So, major disruption on Turkish internet, and the Erdogan government is throttling access to the social media sites, including X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, as police raids Istanbul Mayor İmamoğlu's radiant residence this morning, which they obviously made it radiant. Turkish central bank burned 10 billion just today to stabilize Turkish lira post İmamoğlu detention news. And finally, the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said this strikes against the Houthis are not a one-day work, but rather it is continuing now and every night. Designated as a terrorist organization in the U.S. Friends, that's your crisis report. Good Lord. What time is it? No, not bad. We wrapped it up pretty quickly. All right, friends, hit that like button, do the subscribe thing, darken out the bell, get the notifications. Do become a member here if you're not. It's simple. All you got to do is find the links in the description. Couple bucks. Made it real small. So, come on by. Join us. Friends, God bless. We will see you on the next one. You rock.